if you had to do everything all over again, what would you do? Hey, what is going on? My name is Chia, and if this is your first time here, I upload videos just like this every week, so consider subscribing. And you're getting ready to watch part 3 of a 4-part series of an interview that I did with Hmongmentum, actually Jonathan Yang, the CEO of Hmongmentum. And if this is your first time here, you have not yet watched part 1 or part 2 of this interview, you might want to go back and do that by clicking the links up here, or the video links will be in the descriptions down below. So let's do a little recap about what happened these past couple of weeks. So Jonathan shared a little bit about how Hmongmentum came about, why it was born, how it came about, and he also shared a little bit about what Hmongmentum was catered more towards too. So in part 3 of this interview, I hope that you guys are ready to take notes and listen, because there's going to be more gold nuggets that Jonathan is going to share in this series. So without further ado, enjoy. So Hmongmentum is a big thing. So I think for you to choose Hmongmentum as your title, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. No. I mean, again, it just worked out well, right? It just worked out well because it was something. It was a word that I could really get excited about, right? Yeah. That's usually how I choose things. Is that, you know, if I can get excited about something, then that's what I want to do, you know. And so I got excited about it because it really described exactly what we're talking about. I mean, it's in physics, it's obviously super important. In life, it's important as well.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. So now, aside from all the business questions, you know, like this, I'm gonna lean to some more personal questions. It's pretty cheesy, but like, what is your, out of everything, what is your favorite color?
Well, probably now it's probably black. Not because I'm gothic or emo or anything like that, but it makes me look slimmer. You know? So I like black.
You like black?
Yeah.
I like gray. I like neutral colors. Yeah. I'm really fond of neutral colors.
I'm not good with light colors. Especially if I were to talk about colors that as it relates to me wearing things. I just don't look good in like colors.
Okay, so black. Now, what's your favorite food to eat?
Oh man, that's hard to say. I love pho. I think I can eat pho almost every day. Yeah, I think, and I would probably die of the potassium or sodium or whatever.
Yeah, I can't eat pho.
Oh really?
I could, but then if I had to choose, I would not choose pho.
Really? Okay.
Because just for me, I feel like whenever I eat pho, I waste so much energy blowing it.
Sure.
That by the time I'm eating it, I'm already like hallucinating because like I'm already out of breath.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think that's a good point. I mean, I don't know how you do your pho, but I put a lot of stuff in it, you know. So I think by the time I'm done with it, it kind of cools it down, you know, because I'm adding the sriracha, the hoisin, and all that other stuff. And so I think no doubt pho and anything spicy. I love spicy stuff, and barbecue, anything smoked, ribs, brisket, you know, meaty stuff. But spicy, good pho is something I love to eat every day.
Okay, pho it is.
Yeah.
Now, you say you and your wife, you guys been together for 4 years now?
That's right, yeah. That's what we love, married for 4 years.
Married for 4 years.
We actually
how'd you guys meet?
We've been dating since my senior in high school. So I was a senior.
That was like yesterday.
Yeah, right. I don't know if it's typical, but we met at the Hmong New Year's, right?
Oh, okay, that's typical.
We met at, well, even here's even more typical. We met at a DJ party that took place on the New Year's fairground. You know, so it wasn't actually the New Year's. I mean, it was during New Year's party. Yeah, it was during New Year's time, but it was really, I was a kid, right? So it was a little kid DJ party. No one old enough to go to the bars or clubs, right? So we go to these DJ parties. And so we met her there, and it was at the end of the night. She's over here somewhere, so I don't know if you're listening, but just said, hey, you know, do you want to dance? And she said, oh, I have to go. And I said, can I get your number? And I don't know why I said that, but I just said it. And she said yes. So I mean, that was before everyone had smartphones. You know, we still had Sony Ericsson flip phones or whatever. And so then we hung out the next day at New Year's. And I mean, I didn't think I was gonna marry her at the time, honestly. But she started dating from there, and then got married.
Okay.
Later.
Are you guys planning on having kids?
Oh, sure.
Soon?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, my wife, she's almost done with college, you know. So I think once she finishes, then we'll seriously consider it.
What is she going in for?
She's studying human development. So,
human development.
It's kind of like. I mean, my understanding of it, it's kind of like. I mean, it's a science. it's sort of the science of human growth from like infancy to old age. So,
Yeah. Okay. It's pretty cool, but I feel like it might tie in with momentum because you're also doing self-development.
It could.
Right?
We'll see, yeah.
Okay. So then, with momentum in family life and church, like you have these 3 different lifestyles that are going on all at once.
Yeah.
Do you like have another circle of friends to where like it's not even part of that circle at all, not church, not family, but just friends where you guys will probably hang out?
Probably not. I don't think. No. I mean, I think the majority. Well, I would. Try to answer that. I don't know if this counts, but like, I mean, I'm starting to meet a lot more relationships like yourself and other Hmong professionals, right?
Okay.
So developing a lot more professional relationships than I had before. Obviously, I've only been out of college for 3 years now, right? So in college, I didn't develop a lot of professional relationships, right? So I'm developing a lot more professional relationships, but no, the majority, the closest people in my life are people in my church or my family. And those are the people that take up a lot of my time. And then next to that, it would be professional relationships.
Okay.
So like I said, I don't...
no hobbies, basically.
I mean, I have hobbies, I guess, but it's with these people. We do a lot of things,
That's good.
with the group at my church that I see often. I mean, we do a lot of different things. We travel a lot. We do life together a lot. I mean, so we do a lot of things together. But yeah. I mean, not. I wouldn't say there's a group outside of those things. Besides family, profession, and then.
Okay. So you're in that industry right now where you're helping young adults to be developed. Are you developing yourself every day also in order to be able to develop others?
Yeah, I try.
Like what book are you reading right now?
I try my best. Yeah, I think like I said, So let me say one thing about this is that when I started, right, this is one of the big reasons why I'm doing this, is that I did not have a mentor, or I did not have older. I'm just gonna speak in the Hmong community right now, because that's what we're I'm most closest to those people, right?
Sure.
There are people outside the community, but if I just look in the Hmong community, I didn't have any older Hmong professionals who really kind of knew what I wanted to do, let alone kind of take an interest, right? Later on, I did. Now I do. There's a lot of great people I can go to, but when I first started, there wasn't a lot, So the way I got fed and the way I sort of got mentored is through books and through podcasts, particularly. That I loved podcasts. I'm a podcast junkie and videos, and so in college, I just developed a really inquisitive mind. Being a philosopher, I just knew how to ask good questions and hard questions, and I love questions, right? That's why I love interviewing people. And so I always had these questions, and so I have this habit of I have I have notes and notes and notes of questions that I write down. At any moment, I have questions and I write them down, and then I try to just figure them out, right? So that's sort of how I got fed early on. Is I had all these questions, watched videos, read books, and really got indirectly mentored, that way, right? And that's really sort of been the way I've been doing it now, at least professionally speaking. What I'm trying to do eventually is I do want to have sort of peer mastermind groups, where people like yourself, we could get together, things like this, right? And just make each other better. Yeah, hash things out.
Each other out.
Exactly. And I think that is, almost non-existent, right?
Not yet, at least in the community.
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
So as of right now, that's sort of how I get fed. I mean, I like I said, I'm addicted to really just, information. I watch a lot of videos. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I read a lot of books. I mean, some of the big ones. So you were asking me earlier about names. I mean, so like John Maxwell obviously is great leadership development, things that I've learned. Certain people like Seth Godin, he has fantastic thoughts and writings on marketing and just challenging kind of the way you do things. So he's I read and listen to almost anything he writes. What really got me into digital marketing was Pat Flynn, who does this podcast called Smart Passive Income, and so he talks, talking about passive income and things like that. So he's a great resource. Peter Thiel, who was one of the founders of PayPal, who now runs a lot of different things, but he wrote a book called 0 to 1, which was a fantastic book about just thinking big and doing big things. So that was a big influence on me. So those are some of the names that I go back to now. Gary Vaynerchuk, I forgot to mention. Yeah, Gary V. I think he's probably like the iconic entrepreneur of our day.
For the digital marketing.
Exactly, right. And he's a fantastic model of kind of what's right. And whenever I need, and he does this intentionally, right? Like whenever I need sort of a quick pick me up, right? Like I'm feeling kind of like down, or I need some sort of punch, motivational punch. I listen to his stuff, right? Because
he's so blunt,
right? Because he intentionally knows that, right? Because he knows that him putting this content out there, really speaking to people like us who go through these things, that's really going to hit us where we need it. And
that's true.
So there's a whole bunch of resources out there, and I really go to these resources to mentor me. But I really want more interactions like this.
For sure.
And so yeah,
that's good. Okay. So now I got 2 more final questions for you. It's gonna be a little bit of a fun one. Now, because I am in real estate, I want to ask you at least one question about real estate.
Go ahead.
Like, do you currently own a home right now?
I don't.
You don't own a home.
I'm renting apartment.
Okay, so when do you plan on owning a home? Is that ever something that you ever want to?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm still a kid. Like there's like grown-up talks. Like owning a house and.
Not even a house to where you're living in. Like it could be like an investment property.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, a short answer. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, real estate investing has been something that I've been thinking about lately. Just in terms of the business of it. I'm always fascinated with these new business markets and industries, and so I've been thinking about it a little bit. But as a homeowner, I don't know. I haven't given much serious thought to when I would own a home. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on when I should? Or
no, honestly, there is no like age cap, or it's really what matters at the moment to you. I always like to say, evaluate your situation, and if it makes more sense for you to continue to rent than buy, then keep renting.
Yeah.
But if it makes more sense for you to become a homeowner and take advantage of that, do it. Like, why wouldn't you do it? Like, 'cause a lot of times I'll sit down with people where they're
even though you don't live in the house, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said, if it's an investment.
If it's an investment, like I'll talk to so many people to where they're capable of buying a home, but they don't want to, and they're paying like $1,500 to $1,600 for like a 2-bedroom house, renting, and it's like you could have really bought a house, and it'd be cheaper after taxes. So little things like that, So, but then I also talk to a bunch of people to where they're renting, and they're only paying like $700 a month. And if they're grandfathered into their rental, it's like, keep renting. I'll do the same if I was you, you know what I mean? So everybody's situation is a little bit different. For you, I think you and your wife will probably know more. Real estate doesn't have to necessarily just mean a house that you're living in. It can mean an investment. Okay.
I'm gonna have to bring you on my show. We're gonna have to do a whole show on how to navigate this world. For young couples, young professionals.
For sure, definitely. I think that would be good. And I do work with a lot of first-time home buyers that are young and like they're probably mid-20s or late 20s, where they're buying homes for the first time. And I
have no idea.
There's so many questions and so many things people don't know. So that's really why I started doing what I was doing too. But we're not here about me. We're here about you. So my last question would be, if you had to do everything all over again, what would you do? What would you do
How
first?
far back all over again? Like
all of this. Like what?
Just the professional stuff?
The profession of momentum. If you had to do everything all over again, what would you do?
Hopefully you guys like this part of the interview. Remember that I will be uploading the final part to this interview on Monday. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do so and hit that bell notification so that way you guys don't miss any of the videos that I do upload coming up. But I loved how in this part of the interview, Jonathan shared with us a little bit about some of the people that he looked up to. Like he wasn't one of those kids to where growing up he had a mentor that was mentoring him throughout life. He had to pick up and look up to certain people. One of these people that he looked up to and listened to was Gary Vaynerchuk. And if you guys don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, I'll have a link to his channel down below, so that way you guys can kind of get a hint as to what type of person Gary Vaynerchuk is. Like if you don't know who he is, then you're definitely missing out. Gary Vaynerchuk is a big deal. But I want to hear from you, you know, like what was your thoughts about this part of the interview? What did you get out of it? You know, like as much as all these things that Jonathan was sharing was great, there's one thing that you could probably take away from, and what is that one thing? Share with me what that one thing is down below in the comment section. I would like to read and connect with you. But without further ado, my name is Chia, and I will catch you next time. Peace out.